Okay, boys in the back are here. Fox, CD, baby, Gumps, Nick, Bruce, Dirty. We appreciate that. AJ, let's dive into the weekend that was the divisional round. Your Green Bay Packers made it there, which I don't think any of us would have expected. Weeks 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't even think into 16 with this brand new quarterback, young team. They go and give the Niners some real problems. What are your thoughts on the game, and how do you feel about the Packers season as a whole now that it's finished?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously there's no, moral victories or whatever, but I feel like anyone that watched that game knows, the Packers played well enough to find a way to get a win. Obviously they didn't do it. The Niners, they're a great team. Their defense flies around, man. There's Greenlaw with both of his picks. The guy is awesome. Him and Fred Warner just coming up smacking people all day. Even though the Packers were able to run the ball, Aaron Jones brings a ton of juice. It was a great game. Unfortunate, very frustrating for Packers fans, I think, but they have to be like, all right, we're set up for the next 10 years to be a really, really good football team.
Okay, let's talk about the Niners now. Brock Purdy obviously was not the perfect Brock Purdy that we've come accustomed to. Now, Deebo Samuel out of that game a little bit early. Whenever they needed it, they got it. In the game-winning drive from that team, Christian McCaffrey's always going to be Christian McCaffrey. It feels like George Kittle's always going to be George Kittle. Brock Purdy built for the moment. Do you think he had to get some rust off? What do you think happened against his Packers defense early?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a combination of not only the Packers defense playing very well, the weather conditions we all have seen and talked about, Brock wiping his hand off in the middle of a drop back on a shotgun snap. But, I mean, I think, yeah, it's partly, I always wonder, how do you come back from having a couple weeks where you're not really playing when you're the number one seed like they were? It's just sometimes it's weird to kind of get back into rhythm, and it took them a while. But when they needed it, I mean, there it is. We got it. Christian McCaffrey obviously is a monster, but that's what great teams do. When you need a play, when you need a drive, they find a way to make it happen.
And do you think they'll be able to do this against the brand new Lions, who seemingly doing the same exact thing? Same old Lions. Normally the big play is being made against them at the end for them to lose. Brand new Lions, they're the ones making the plays. Massive pick of Baker Mayfield here by Derek Barnes. First pick in his 3-year career. After the game, he was given a game ball. He actually said, this is for the whole linebacker room, which I believe is led by Kelvin Shepard, former teammate of ours. Absolute dog of a human being. So they're all in. They're playing their best football. They've been buzzing and humming for the last few weeks where the Niners have not been playing. How do you think this matchup goes?
I think it's going to be a fun matchup. I mean, if San Francisco would have went out and just throttled the Packers, don't you think people would have said, all right, I don't know what the line is yet. What is the line right now?
6.5.
For Niners?
6.5.
Okay. If the Niners would have just throttled the Packers, would that line be 9.5, 10 by now, do you think?
I think so. I think if the Niners come out and play, like kind of how the Ravens ended up playing, like first half Ravens were kind of rusty, felt like. Then Lamar Jackson gives a speech at halftime. So I can't say it'd be inappropriate for me to tell you what I said. I basically said, listen, there's some sorry and we're tied with them.
Yep.
He said, hey, that's a great team. That's a great team.
They were playing great.
They were playing really good. Like he had a lot of it's very clear that what he said at halftime was, come on, what are we even doing? We're not doing it. I think if they do end up buzzsawing like the Ravens did in the second half, I think there is a little bit more respect for the Niners potentially, especially at home because of all the weapons that they have and us only knowing a couple players on this Detroit team and us being introduced to who this team is. Remember, the Niners last 4 years. Supposed to be the team.
Yes.
Supposed to be the team. Packers give them a little bit of a scare. The books say 6.5. But with this Lions team, listen to what MCDC said to them in the locker room afterwards. You could feel the entire team is all on a string together in this thing.
You guys are unbelievable, man. I'm telling you, we talked about it all year.
Like he's a fan.
This started a long time ago. You're built for this. You're built for this, man. And look what you guys did. You went out there, and it's another hot team that we knocked off. It's the next hot team that you knock off. Do you know how hard it is to win in this league in the playoffs? Do you understand what you're doing right now? What we're capable of? That's 2. Awesome. All right, that's 2. We got 2 to go. With a bye in the middle.
Don't forget the bye.
With a bye in the middle.
By the way.
I'm unbelievably proud of everybody in here, man. Coaches, players. That's a way to mount up, man. That's a difficult team to beat, man. All right, I got one game ball. Man, in the game, need to play. Derek Barnes.
Listen to everybody.
Hey, man, love y'all boys, man. From the support in the linebacker room, the coaches, staff, organization, offense, man. 3 years, man. took me 3 years to get the first interception, but but it means more because the people who believed in me.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of people didn't. The room, this ball, you know, I got to give it to the linebacker room because I said we was gonna bring one back, and God, we did. Bring it up. And you got to believe how far we can go, man. Yes, believe it now. Believe it now. This is a good win. Enjoy it, man. This comes once in a lifetime. Like Alex used to tell me, man, a lot of people don't make it this far, but we did, man. I love everybody in this room, man. Everybody in here deserve it. That's why we here, like Coach said. Hey, man, time to prepare for San Fran.
I wonder what they said. Their team, win, Lions. I assume Lions because that's kind of the brand that they're all building in there. Grit. You can feel how tight that team, grit on three. Yeah. You can feel how tight that locker room is, AJ. You can feel it from every video that we see from the place.
Yeah, I think it's cool that you can feel how much it means to them, but also at the same time, they're not overdoing it. They're not sitting there thinking they won the Super Bowl already. Like, here we go. Oh, this is it. Everything else is just icing on the cake from here. No, like they feel like, yeah, we are very excited to be here, but we are just scratching the surface. We are just beginning what we are, set out to do.
Foxy said in the streets, it felt like they won a Super Bowl. The fans are allowed to feel that way.
Yes,
but
they should.
But D-Bud even said this in the first hour. He was like, you listen to Jared Goff talk, you listen to them talk, it's like they understand that there's still a job left to be done. 2 games left with a bye in between it. That's the mindset. That's the motto.
Yeah, and just watching them, just seeing them on the field, just seeing the reaction from the sideline when they win, they get the pick. Seeing all the players and then listening to that locker room, like that's the best part. We all been in there. Those are the moments you miss. You don't miss the practices. You miss those locker room, after a big win, those trips home with the boys. But and we talk about, a bunch of BS, pregame speeches and the rah-rah speeches. Like those are the real ones. Whereas you could tell everything he's saying. He feels it. You could tell all the guys are fully bought in. And they're in the moment, too. They're enjoying the moment. Hey, congratulations. We're going to enjoy this for 24 hours. And then they fully believe they can go on and hoist that Lombardi.